Hi everyone, and welcome back to the Bird's Eye View for this week. You know, at St. Stephen's there's a unique ceremony that happens every year, a recognition for some of our students, our seniors, who join the Cumulative Society, which is basically the high school version of Phi Beta Kappa. That's how it's described by Cumulative itself. So we had that ceremony this week, and inducted 7 seniors into the society this year. And I have with me today a special guest, our Associate Head of School and Upper School Director, Mr. Andrew Forrester, who's going to tell us a little bit more about Cum Laude and Cum Laude Society here at St. Stephen's. So, Andrew, thank you so much for being here with me.
You're very welcome.
So, as we mentioned during the ceremony, Cum Laude is a special designation that not every school in the country has. You go through a selection process in order to be selected as a school to get into Cum Laude. So maybe tell us a little bit about St. Stephen's Cum Laude Society.
Absolutely. So St. Stephen's has been a member of the Cum Laude Society since the 1990s. There are only 382 chapters across the world. Most are in the United States, but there are branches in Canada, England, France, Spain, Puerto Rico, and the Philippines. And this society was established in 1906, and the goal of the society is to encourage excellence in academics and, of course, excellence in scholarship.
So there is a requirement, a GPA requirement, but as you mentioned, academics isn't all of it. It's leadership, it's honor and justice we talked about during the ceremony. Yep. Those are part of the criteria to be selected.
Absolutely. So here at St. Stephen's, we measure excellence in the same way the Cum Laude Society does for this particular honor. Students have to have a cumulative unweighted grade point average of 3.67 or above, and they have to demonstrate that they meted the stated and implied qualities in the motto of the society: excellence, justice, and honor. And finally, in a silent and confidential vote of the upper school faculty, every senior who meets the requirements is considered for the society. These votes are independently counted and checked by impartial non-teaching staff members. The selection is incredibly difficult, as we value all of our students, but there are some very rigorous restrictions on membership set forth by the Cum Laude Society in terms of percentage of class numbers. So that's why this year we were only able to have 7 new members for our fall induction, and then last year we had 8 members for our spring induction.
Now, I know the typical ceremony happens in Christ Church, and it's filled with pomp and circumstance. It's just a beautiful ceremony, and we invite family members to come, and the entire school is there, or at least the upper school is there. This year, obviously, a little bit different. Maybe you can describe to folks what our ceremony was like this year.
So we have a tradition over the last 3 years of inviting previous members of the St. Stephen's Cum Laude Society to introduce the new inductees. And about 3 years ago, when we started thinking about how to include students who had already graduated from St. Stephen's, we included a video component. And several of our recent alum are videoing for us from a variety of colleges and universities. We had Cassandra from Yale. We had 2 students from NYU. We had Maria Urquiaga from the Catholic University of America, and Ruslan came in from Boston. And it was great for them to send their videos over. Our ceremony begins with a prayer, and it concludes with a benediction, because we normally host it over at Christ Church in the chapel. This year, as with many of our occasions, we hosted it through Zoom, and we were able to provide the students and the families an opportunity to see the kind words said by our recent alum, and then to participate in the ceremony too. Afterwards, I got to see the new inductees at break time and congratulate them in person, as well as congratulating them through Zoom. Many students invited not just their immediate family, but family from further afield to be present at the ceremony. And so Zoom creates that opportunity where grandparents and uncles and aunts can participate in some of our chapels, even though they might not live in the immediate area.
Well, I love those video messages that came in from the alums. Those were terrific, and you could see that most of them were in their dorm rooms.
Yep.
Ruslan standing in front of his shower curtain in his dorm room, which was terrific to see. So maybe you can share with our audience who our awardees were this year.
Absolutely. So from the class of 2021, the 7 students were Janie Chatham, Tyler Katchen, Emma Craig, Matthew Conkle, Jules Pung, Connor Davis, and Annie Klaas. And I invite you to review the descriptions from their friends who are currently studying at colleges and universities and listen to what they have to say about the amazing accomplishments of these students. And this group of students, you can certainly guarantee, are in line with those 3 elements of excellence, justice, and honor, and we're very proud of them.
And we will include a link to the actual video of the ceremony that
Wonderful.
folks can watch within this email here with the bird's eye view. Andrew, thank you so much.
You're
Thanks
very
so
welcome.
much for sharing that information with us. Before we sign off this week, I want to share a few updates with you. Last week we talked with Coach Paletti and talked about athletics at St. Stephen's. So I want to give you a few updates there. One of the programs that he talked about was boys golf, and the potential for boys golf. So we want to give a nice shout out to the boys golf program. They've played 3 matches since we recorded that last message and won 2 of them. They won a 10-team event down in Naples, and they won a dual match with Braden and Christian. And let's see, a freshman named Alex Long, who I think is a new student to the school this year.
Yeah, he came and joined his brother who joined us last year.
Right, and Alex was the medalist, the low individual score at 2 of those tournaments. There's also an update on our football opener. The football opener against Out of Door Academy, which is coming up the week after next, has been canceled. ODA has had some issues with COVID there, so they have canceled that game, and Coach Paletti is looking for a replacement to fill in that spot, but for now that game is canceled. A scheduling note also, next Thursday, College Counseling will host Funding a College Education, a program for 11th and 12th graders and their parents. That'll be via Zoom at 7 p.m. And also next Tuesday morning at 9 a.m. there'll be a Zoom for the Parents Association's first general membership meeting of the school year. You can find links to those on SSES online. They'll also be in your email. I also want to put in a plug for October 3rd. We've mentioned this in previous bird's eye views, but the Parents Association's fundraising auction will happen on October 3rd, and you'll learn more about that next week here. So for Mr. Forrester and myself, we want to thank you for watching this week, and we'll see you right back here again next Friday. And we just want to say, go Falcons.
Go Falcons.